Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 8th episode of the second season of Danmachi. And in my reaction video to the last episode, I encouraged people to click the like button to show support for the reaction series because it was kind of lacking in that. And I can say that I am pretty happy with the amount of likes that video did get. So if we could keep that up to the end of the series, that would be great. So I hope that's the case. So last episode, we finally did a little bit of dungeon crawling, which is oddly enough in this dungeon anime we haven't had a lot of dungeon crawling in the second season of this dungeon anime, which I imagine that bothers a lot of people. I mean, I didn't even really realize it until we finally did go dungeon crawling in the last episode. It just kind of clicked in my head like, oh, we haven't really done much of this lately, have we? Despite it being kind of the premise of the show. But, you know, I guess you can't stay in the dungeon all the time. But they did go to the dungeon, and, you know, only once for, like, plot reasons, because that's where the Ishtar family had to ambush Belle, so that's kind of why we finally went to the dungeon, so somebody could misuse it for ambushing techniques, so funny how things work out. But hopefully things don't get too bad there. I mean, Belle will probably get kidnapped successfully, let's be honest. But hopefully nothing too bad happens to him. That's kind of what I'm hoping, because you know how dangerous the Ishtar Familia can be, lying about their power and stuff to the guild, and just have a very interesting position in general to the guild. You know, a lot's happened there, but because we got kind of into that last episode as well. We found out the Killing Zone was the name of what was given to Ishtar, and she's, yeah, kind of starting a bit of a war there, so yeah, things could definitely escalate, depending on how things go here, so get into it and find out how things go. 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, this is all stuff we've seen. We saw last episode. Yeah, this is when things went downhill for Belle. Yeah, Aisha's not here to play. Yeah, always blame the god if that's usually the problem with the Familia. It has a big sword. I mean, Belle literally did nothing wrong. Yeah, Ishtar's got some strong people. Aisha, definitely. It's not fair, it's just so distracting. She has a big weapon. But okay, here we go. I think Mikoto's gonna help. Thank you. I needed some assistance. I can smell your perfume. The smell of lewdness emanates from you. Oh, that's... Yeah, she's gonna be hard to fight even with two of us. Ooh. Oh, damn. She really can fight. She's no joke. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, damn. Man. Man, this fight really got brutal, didn't it? Mikoto. I thought she'd be more help than that. No. As if things weren't bad enough. Got so much worse. Ugh. Wow, where'd they all come from? Yeah, this is kind of how I figured this would go. I wasn't expecting Belle to be, like, dragged to the wall. Like, that always just strikes me as so painful whenever I see that in anime. I mean, if you're gonna get kidnapped by a group of people, I guess you could do worse. Or maybe not. No, 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 thank you. Bad touch. But yeah, as I thought, I didn't think Belle would be able to successfully fight off this. You know, I didn't realize the second season of this anime was so unpopular until I glanced at the MyAnimeLIst page and saw that basically all of the reviews on it were like, give it a 5 out of 10 or close to it. Like if there was like a 4 and a 6, like none of them were super positive on it. I personally think the second season's fine. Like, not spectacular or anything, aside from the opening. The opening is spectacular. That's the best thing about it, definitely. But overall, I'd say the second season's fine. Like, I don't want to compare it to season 1 too much before it ends, but... Yeah, the Killing Stone, we're gonna get into that thing. What it does. Probably kills. Yeah, you were kidnapped, Belle. Regular princess pinch. Oh, that's not what you want to wake up to. Definitely not what you want to wake up to. Man, in a district with so many beautiful girls, why? Just why do you hate Belle this much? Yeah, what are you gonna do? And it even looks like they even got Mikoto, which I guess makes sense. They wouldn't just leave her there, since she knows what happened. And yeah, wow, yeah, this means the friends get to meet up. I didn't even think about that. At least they get to see each other. I mean, for 5 seconds before she ran off again. Oh, did she drop the keys? If that's the case, that's quite nice of her. But I think Belle needs help more than he. No. No, no. Uh, no. Stop anything but this. Just Belle did nothing wrong. He does not deserve this. No one deserves this. Uh, Nothing little about this. Nothing. Aside from Rookie, I guess. Just look at the size of her head. It's bigger than Belle's entire body. Like, he could fit in her head. Uh, well, did you actually expect it to be anything but floppy right now? If anything, it should retreat inward. I doubt that, but... yeah. I think we found the real worst thing about Season 2. Yeah, you need to get out of here, Belle. This is not safe. Oh, there we go. Here's some eye bleach. Haruhime, please help me. I will pay you any price. Just get me out of here. I feel so bad for Belle. Yeah, he's pretty. It was a rough time. Just the trauma is real. He'll never be the same. I mean, he's probably gay now. Let's be honest. He needs to get some affection from his goddess when he gets home. Oh, we got Spider Mikoto over here. Oh. Gotta use your ninjutsu. Well... I guess you're not a big fan of him escaping. What, you just automatically blame her? It's not cool. Could have been anyone. Yeah, we just need to check up on her. She seems to be pretty far away from us. I hope so. She's pretty stealthy, so I believe in her, but still worried. Oh, well then. Yeah, I guess that explains that. Jeez. Well then. And that's why she knows that Haruhime did it, so she's kinda had to leave then, right? Everyone's still scrambling and she's still Spider Mikoto. There's nobody there. Don't be silly, just imagination. You may call this a pleasure quarter, but Bell, he was in the suffering penny, so. A ritual apparently involves torture. Cruel and unusual torture. I mean, I'd like you to come with us if you don't mind. Like, join our familia. We'll treat you right. I mean, yes, we can come work for us. The working conditions will be better, I assure you. We got a nice goddess. We're all friends. We don't have a torture chamber. It's great. Come over. Be better. Uh. Yeah. Bell spreads happiness, what he does. But I really don't want you to have a sad ending, Harime, so just please agree to go with him. Because I just have this vision in my head of this ending poorly for you. And I don't want to see that happen, so you could just like cooperate, that'd be great. It's a great place, isn't it? At least on the surface. So mean to rabbits in the show. Everyone just very worried because Belle's gone, so. Not somebody you want to make enemies of, but they've made a lot of enemies that were rough to deal with. Well, Mikoto was just there, but Bell, he everyone wants Bell. That's really what it comes down to. Did they even know about the behind thing? I can't remember. I know Hermes does, obviously. Yeah, they don't know why they want Bell. Yeah, and now we're getting on the right trail to figure this out. The Killing Stone, the ritual, the Freya, whatever her name was, the rivalry. Really? You guessed that? Out of all the stones in the world, you guessed the right one? Because all you said was something stone, right? And then he interpreted that as Killing Stone. But yeah, clearly not a good item. Oh, that's very specific. Yojutsu? Yojutsu. Wow. Well then. Definitely a significant item. And then I guess there's no saving her if that happens. Unless you can put it back together somehow, but I doubt that will be possible. Yeah, I figured. So let's avoid that happening. Like, so yeah, Haruhime definitely needs to leave then, regardless of, and regardless of what you did for Belle, like she needed to leave regardless, so she needs to get out of there. So hopefully that's not what her end becomes. Yeah, the ritual, which is it a full moon tonight? Of course. Of course. This place, everyone always looks so happy. Yeah, so you are coming with Belle, right, Haruhime? Just want to confirm that. Not gonna stay behind or anything, right? You wouldn't do that, right? You know you're coming with us, right? Because you're not making it sound like you're coming with us. She is in danger because they're gonna use her soul and just. Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. That does complicate things a bit, but we can work around that. I mean, we can work something out. Don't give up. Oh, Mikoto, thank you for showing up when you did. You might be able to help us convince her. That's a good question. I assume she did, but and judging by the reaction, I think she does, yeah. Yeah, listen to Mikoto. She knows what she's talking about. I mean, Belle doesn't know about any of this. And now more people show up. I think it was Aisha. God damn it. Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. As mentioned before. Not a big fan of Freya. Because Aisha doesn't seem to be fully on board with that, but I mean, it's her goddess, so. But we have a fox girl. What more do we need? Yeah, pretty handedly. Okay. So is that why they had the inconsistency with the guild and the levels stuff? Is that what that was about? Because he mentioned something about that in the discussion last episode. And maybe what they were talking about. That's what she's saying. That's why we're trying to help. That's why we're trying to get her to come with us. That doesn't make it okay. Just no. Unfortunately, most familiars are not as much of a real family as yours. Which is a lesson the show has definitely driven into us. Yeah, that's the idea. Take the collar off and we'll be on our way. Well, fine. We took on big tough familiars before. We're not afraid of you. Well, if you insist. Okay. Yeah, we kind of heard about some of that before, so. And that angered you, I guess. Well, that prostitute clearly has some emotional problems if that bothered her that much. Okay. Probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, damn. Jeez. Okay, then. Not quite how I imagined the story going, but... yeah, sounds like a great familia. Yeah, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? Well, wouldn't anybody? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the big thing here. He wouldn't want to cause trouble for his familia that he cares so much about. So he's kind of in a rough spot here. What do you do, Bill? Well, yeah, but I thought that was supposed to be his appeal as a character. And here comes the rest. Just busy, explaining things to him. Because I think I should just kind of want Belle to successfully save Haruhime. And she's kind of conflicted about that. There was really no point in telling that story otherwise. Ow. That didn't even look like it hurt very much. It's like a left tap. So yeah, clearly she does care about Haruhime. Her actions make no sense otherwise. But Belle is clearly out of it, not knowing what to do. And that's when the episode ends. I mean, technically, villains don't really need a good reason to, monologue towards the protagonist, but still, I feel like there was in this case. Mikoto. Got some pretty good Mikoto stuff in the episode, seeing her jutsu. But yeah, just... The Pleasure Quarter might be a fun place to visit as a customer, but I don't think you'd want to join it as the Familia. I don't think so. The goddess of the Familia seems a little bit unhinged. Like, I don't even know why she has such a grudge against the Freya Familia anyway. I guess it's just jealousy, wanting to be the number one. She wants what Freya has, basically. Like, wants to be in her position. That's all I can really get from that. Because, I mean, their characters do kind of overlap a little bit. I mean, Ishtar and Freya are very similar kind of characters. War prostitutes, that's the title. Okay. So, that was the what am I talking about? That was the 8th episode of second season of Danmachi. I don't know what I was talking about there. But anyway, yeah, like I thought, Bell did get captured, but also like I thought, he got rescued in the end. Haruhime, not yet. We're still working on that. But Bell got captured. And just, yeah, poor Bell. Let's just recap what happened to Bell this episode. He went in the dungeon, which he hasn't done much in the show, so far in the season. He gets ambushed by this familia, despite having really done nothing to wrong them, really, for the most part. Like, I'm trying to think, did he do anything? Because I know they chased after him in a previous episode, but, like, yeah, I don't think he really did anything wrong to them. It was just they needed him for something. So, needed him because Freya wanted him. I think that's really what it all really boiled down to. But I don't think they really needed him for the ritual, right? I mean, what did we hear about the ritual? We know that it needs like the Renard soul to put into the stone, the killing stone, and shatter it, and all the pieces would give you the Yojutsu or whatever. And that would give them the power to fight this war that Ishtar definitely wants to start with the Freya Familia, which is the #1. So, yeah, I don't think Bell's really necessary for that. I don't think so. I think it was just petty reasons why she wanted him, like, through and through. I think that's all it really was. But yeah, Bell got captured, did nothing wrong, just got attacked in the dungeon, got beat up by someone it wasn't really meant to be that powerful, but just used level boosting, which they apparently can do. And then got brought to the pleasure quarter, which is supposed to be a pleasurable place. It's supposed to be fun. And yet he was brought down to the dungeon, and then the one out of that entire familia, the one person you really don't want to visit you down there, visited him down there, and just, yeah, I can't even describe what was happening there. It was just so gross and uncomfortable, and I wanted to really back up a lot further away from my screen, but then the camera would see me below the waist, and that would not be safe for YouTube, so I couldn't back up too much. But just, it was so hard to watch. The licking, the everything, just, no. Bell did not deserve any of that. Just, I felt so bad for Bell. Like, I thought I felt bad for Haruhime before, but there are points in this episode where the sympathy, pity I had for Bell was higher than for Haruhime. But still, Haruhime is still pretty high, though, because she's in a pretty unfortunate position. Just being there against her will after being tricked and basically just kept to be a sacrifice later on, and then being, of course, hated by the prostitute and all that, so there's also that as well. I mean, I guess that didn't really affect Haruhime too much, but it was still part of the story. That Aisha made sure to tell Bell. So, yeah, I did not know about the necklace around her neck, what that did, but that definitely does complicate things a bit. Like, I'm sure we could get rid of that. Like, if we got back to the Familia, I'm sure they would figure something out how to break it or something. But for now, it's a bit of a problem. Like, you wouldn't be able to hide like who was harboring her with that. But yeah, the story basically, she breaks the crystal, and then next shot, just see all that blood and just, oh, it looks so bad. And of course, it was the disgusting toad that was responsible for that. And then, man, that evil look on that face, just, she was charmed by her godness until she went mad. I mean, that part didn't look too bad compared to the previous bit, but I mean, on a different context, I would probably get a lot of enjoyment out of watching that, but I couldn't quite there. It was a little bit too dark to really get much out of that. But I think she got the point across the Bell with that story. But yeah, that's the one final thing to really talk about with the episode, is that Bell is very conflicted because he wants to help Haruhime, but he knows that will negatively starting a war with the Ishtar Familia is not a good idea, not a smart move by any stretch of the imagination. So he knows doing that would inconvenience the rest of the Familia, and Like, what do you do when you have such a simple, straightforward, naive sense of justice like Belle? Like, what do you do in the situation? Like, what's the right answer? That's why he just looked so comatose, like, out of it. Because there's no simple answer here. It's not without talking to the familia first. Which you do kind of have to do before you start something like this. Like, you kind of have to at least talk to the goddess about it. For something like this that would affect the familia so heavily. And he does feel very indebted to, you know, Hestia, so it's just a bad position to be in. So, yeah, next episode, Belle's got to really figure out what he wants to do. They know where Haruhime is, of course. He's still there in the pleasure quarter in their home and all that. And they know they have a very short time limit because tonight's the full moon for the ritual. So they gotta get something figured out. They gotta figure out what they want to do about this and quickly. But at the same time, the Ishtar familia will be on guard because they know that Belle wants to rescue her. So yeah, it's a rough position to be in. So I guess we'll find out next episode to how what they do about it. So thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.